So, on to Mega Man 4. That was Cyber Peacock, Storm Owl, and Magma Dragoon from Mega Man X4. I was going to play different Mega Man tracks, but I realized Spotify got rid of a whole bunch of the soundtracks that existed. Also, speaking of going straight into it, Mega Man 4 actually has a plot. Like, a bunch of it right at the beginning. So, and more so than just going up the elevator, introducing 2. So, we're going to let that play out for a little bit. And I guess this gives me time to do the intro I wasn't going to do anyway. We've been through half the series with the new look of sorts, where I decided that my favorite Mega Man game, my favorite NES Mega Man game, is actually objectively not as good as 2. Which, you know, color probably no one surprised, but I can understand that while I may like 3 more, it's not as good. But the difference in points and my ranking is only 2 points. So for a game that's definitely not finished, I'd consider that pretty good. The rankings thus far, out of a possible 25 points, is Mega Man 1 has 13 out of 25. Very rough. Probably will be easily the worst. I don't see how that changes, honestly. So, spoilers, I guess. Mega Man 2 has 20 out of 25, and Mega Man 3 has 18 out of 25. We'll be ranking the latter 3 on the same categories, being music, fun factor, weapons, controls, and plot. So, that'll be that. And lots of favorite games that are objectively not as good, some straight up just objectively bad. So, I think it was last stream that I referenced briefly what we did a while back when In Retrospection was a thing. Or I think that's what it was for, and it ended up on the VGHC channel when that was also a thing. Where we swapped Mega and Monkey Madness. So here's looking at you, Donkey Kong Country 3. You know, just so it's going both ways. Alright, so, as tradition with, yeah, that whole journey. I've been meaning to, like, go back and do that again, because, like, there's definitely some laughs from us both. Good times. Anyway, so, we are doing the same thing that we did before, which is very few ways to pretend like you haven't played a game you played a bunch of times. This is one of 2 that I actually owned as a kid and didn't have to borrow. So, but, again, only so many ways to pretend you haven't played before. So the easiest way to do that, and also involve audience participation, which thus far has just been us, is to have fun and pick one. Because the very first time you play a Mega Man game, you have no fucking clue who to start with. So, Ringman and Toadman sound like they'd be the easiest. Maybe Dustman. Well, that's 3 different people, so, which I know they come out this way, so... Okay, so we have, you're on the couch,
So if you want participation, this is what you get.
Alright, cool. And Amber's probably loud enough to be picked up on here anyway. So, we have 2 now participating in this whole possibly subject me to a bad time situation. We have Ringman, Diveman, Skullman, Pharaohman, Brightman, Toadman, Drillman, and Dustman. Pretending I have never played this before, I am letting the audience pick. Don't think I played this one nearly as much. I think I played Toadman first. Okay. So originally we had 3 choices, which has now been limited to 1, and now Amber has voted for Skullman, which throws a 4th in the mix. So we're gonna have to come to a decision here. What coin? Do we have an actual coin? Because I don't know, like an app for a coin flipper or some shit. Cool, let's use that thing. We are now using a app for a coin flip to decide between Toadman and Skullman, because those are the votes. Skullman sounds vaguely familiar. Right, duh. Of course. I was thinking, what app could that possibly be? But it's the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh app, because of course it is. But yes, it will be time to duel once we make a choice. That is absolutely correct. I don't know. Yes. It is Josh and you from the couch. Heads or tails for Toadman? Pick one. It is up to you, Josh. Assign your pick of Toadman, if that's the final pick, to heads or tails, and Skullman will be the other by default, and then we're gonna decide. Okay, they just went ahead and picked both. Heads is Toad, tails is Skullbone, tailbone. Okay, fair enough. Heads. We're going Toadman. Which, spoiler alert, Josh, you are absolutely correct. Because even as a kid, this is who I chose. Because he seemed the most absurd / easiest to beat. So this will just be natural for me. Also, that NES lag is starting real soon, which is kind of a rough start to this game. If you're starting with this game, your jumps are a little more heavy because you have the rain, which does put resistance on your jumps. Also, of course, this is the first title to introduce the charge shot. Which, you know, it's up for debate whether the sound effect is actually good or not. But, you know, it is what it is. Definitely remember the stage, yeah. Not anymore, but it easily could be. What does that have to do with anything? I mean... Oh, well, yeah, yes, you can do that on your computer, but... Still, stand by what I said regardless. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to do. But yep, this is a thing. So you're kind of in like a sewer of sorts, which I guess is sort of fitting for a toad. Gotcha.
Gameplay trailer.
Game tray. It's the slang term for game trailer.
It's been a long fucking day.
Hashtag game tray. You heard it here first.
Gameplay trailer seems pretty legit. But it's only gonna be on Steam.
Well, if you actually decide to not be lazy, then you can... Then you can, you know, jump and chat while you do whatever else alongside that as well. Yeah, Sage is pretty easy. Honestly, the beginning is like the hardest part. Here is semi-difficult because if you don't time your shots right, you can get knocked into the spikes. And if you're not quick enough, you'll die. I say that because, again, Mega Man 1 is the only game that ignores iframes and you can just get out of spikes. Alright, so here's the thing with Toadman. He's actually not easy. And I might use rewind for the sake of saving lives or whatever, but this is the thing with Toadman. Right? I'm gonna fight him, right? He's gonna jump at me like an asshole. And, you know, we're just gonna try and fight him. His weapon kind of hurts. But if you do, like, next to nothing, that's your experience. And if that's your experience on Toadman, you're probably gonna have a bad time. Now, if you're inclined to do much of anything, and by much of anything I mean more than nothing, this is what happens instead. Also, I don't know why Mega Man 4, like, makes it a grind of sorts to go through health. And I'm just using regular shots, I'm not even using charge shots. You can just keep shooting him, put the pressure on him. I ran into him too quick, I was a little quick there. But you keep shooting him, and being close by, so he'll jump over you, because that's what he's going to do if you get close by. And if you do this right, you should just take no damage. That's it. Easy. And in return, you get a screen clear. Because that acid rain move, that's what you get. Rain flush. I always like this screen. It's cool. This little grid screen. Then you get Mega Man and Rush in this cool little view. Definitely the coolest weapon select thing by far. Also, I have to correct the statement on whatever Mega Man video or stream I did where I said password is first used in Mega Man 3. I actually forgot that the password system actually does exist in Mega Man 2. I just don't use them in, like, any of the games because I would just play them straight. So I don't really think of these things anymore. But that statement was incorrect. Password system starts in 2. It just doesn't... What is new is the dot system for the password. Because it's more like random letters in 2. And the grid system with the dots and stuff started in 3. Anywho, so... Again, Mega Man tradition, right? You beat somebody, so they're going to be strong against somebody else. That's kind of the whole Mega Man thing. But... So, same deal, really. We can take a guess at who Toadman might be good against.
I still vote for Skullman.
Or just pick another person, period, based on no logic whatsoever. Who the hell knows? Sometimes these weaknesses aren't logical, as we've seen before, so...
Skullman did.
Amber's still placing that vote for Skullman. She is hard stuck on Skullman, it seems. Acid Rain beats Bones. Alright, that is 2 votes for Skullman, it seems. We are going to Skullman. And we'll go for spoilers again and simply say that this is the complete opposite experience. As in, don't fucking start with Skullman. You're probably gonna have a bad time. I will save the suspense for, however, if we have what's actually good on him or not. However, to kind of counterbalance things, is this stage is super generous for energy tanks. But you have to be a little bit skilled to get them all, in a way. Without losing a life, that is. I didn't really say much about Toadman's stage. Toadman's stage is fine. Music is also fine. Actually, the stage is pretty good. I'd say even great. It's fitting for Toadman. Theme is okay. I'll need to make those notes. 4 is the first to introduce Eddie / Flip Top, whatever you know him as. Energy Can first try. Wow. That is super lucky. Let's fucking go. So you can get a possible energy tank there. Shit. You could... Ah, fuck. I mean, I got more of these streams for sure. That is... second energy tank right there. No, shit! I actually meant to do that as part of the intro. I kind of just went into it. This stage and Toadman actually look visually very good. Yeah, this stage and theme are fucking phenomenal. One of the better in the series, in my opinion. And that's the third energy can, but this one takes a little risk / skill unless you want to lose a life. And I actually don't have anything to, I think, make this easier. So this might be a lot of state saving and loading, so I don't have to, you know. Hey, an extra life. It's like it knows I'm gonna die. What the fuck just happened?
Oh, right.
Oh, we're back.
It happens when you turn it off, but when you turn it on, something does. Sorry.
Huh. So to explain what happened there, Amber is going to be... actually didn't fuck things up. Well, actually, then again, I have to go back. The way back is harder. Oh, let's fucking go. I got good. So that's all 3 energy tanks. So honestly, if you get all 3 energy tanks, regardless of the fact that Skullman is a tougher one to start with, you can just tank your way through it. Literally. Bless you. But yeah, to explain what happened there, Amber eventually will be doing her own streams or whatever, possibly sometime this week. But I am borrowing her console capture device, which is an external. It's the HD60X, which gets around the whole weird turn off the TV, also turns off the capture device on stream and interrupts things. But now it has the opposite problem, where when you turn on the TV, it'll blink slightly but then just come back, which I suppose is better than needing to power on the whole console again. But yeah, that's a thing. Also, welcome back, Monica. We can get some real interesting stuff possibly going on now. We got a little mini party going on. So I'm gonna leave the controller alone by itself for a second here, because if you do nothing, so will Skullman. He will sit there and stare at you because he can. He reacts based on your AI, so the second you do something, then he starts doing stuff. But if you just sit here, he will do nothing. It's like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel? Yeah. For sure. Alright, so. Toadman.
No one's violated the rules by doing nothing yet.
Try to participate still at work, may end up distracted. If you can, you can. I mean, participation, it means a lot of different things. Happy to have you at all. Welcome back. Hope it's going well. So here's Toadman. And it does 2 damage. In other words, not the weakness. So Skullman has a barrier weapon. Your Mega Buster is decent. Decent for damage, but not incredible. We're already about to get our butts kicked, so we're going to use a can already. Because, like I was saying before, not the easiest start. Shit. Might have to use the second one, honestly. Shit, again. Bye! Or we're just gonna die, you know, one or the other. Skullman is clearly taking a lot of calcium if he can resist acid rain. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because he's got his barrier and you can't hit him through that. Then he kind of just shoots in random patterns-ish. It's not great. Also, visually, it looks like he interrupts your charge shot if he hits you while you're charging. But I don't think he technically does. I could never really tell for sure. Shit. Shit! I didn't pause in time. Again. That was all without using one can. I think we can do this with only one can. Which, unfortunately, I didn't do that before, but... I'm kind of trying to roll with it. Yeah, his barrier gets in the way of things. He himself literally gets in the way of things. It's certainly not impossible to do without the weakness, but it is one of the more difficult fights to do without it. And as I say this, actually... No can! Unfortunately, I used one before, thinking I needed one, and then didn't get the pause in time to use a second, but... We'll take it. We'll take it. If I remember correctly, this might be one of the easier games, actually, to do Buster only. I don't attempt that anymore, because, I suck. But, you know, something I did way back in the day before achievements were a thing. Alright, so, the audience participation thing, and feel free to join in, Monica, as well. So, the very few ways to experience a Mega Man game without... And kind of, like, manipulate the experience and pretend like I haven't played these a bunch of times is to give audience participation, because when you first play a Mega Man game, you don't know who's good on who or where to go to first or anything like that, which can potentially make the game a lot longer than it needs to be. So, I am letting people decide on boss order to determine what's what. Whether it's you try to guess the boss's weakness, which of course now 2 of the 8 are dead, or you pick one that can potentially just screw me over because it's actually a bad choice. Skullman was kind of the latter. Toadman was my first choice as a kid. Although there are 2 choices I would recommend for people first starting the game. Amber has voted for Pharaoh Man. Dustman feels like he's metal themed, so maybe acid beats metal. Okay, so we got 2 votes there. I'm gonna give a couple minutes to Monica here to see if she has a vote as well, and we'll figure it out from there. If not, then we'll just do a coin toss between the 2, and figure out where the fuck I'm going next. Pharaoh feels like Skull would beat him. Okay. 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 I think that's where we're going. Because we got 2 for the same one. We got 2 for... Wait. Do we? Hold on. Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're going to Dustman because we got 2 votes. So Toadman was not good for Skullman previously. We will see if Toadman is now good for Dustman. Because, you know, it will rust him to death, I guess. That's how that would work, right? That's what you were saying earlier and implying, right? No. I don't think there's anything over there, actually. I think I've tried for that before, but there's not actually anything over there. I need to take notes. Someone remind me to take notes after this stage. Maybe that's a sign I'm enjoying it. Like, more than I kind of recall, actually. It's weird that I tend to not remember as much about this one versus, like, other ones, considering this is one of 2 that I actually owned. Oh my god, energy can twice in a fucking row. Let's fucking go. Yes, there is. Shit. Okay, so we haven't really used weapons for, like, regular usage. So, Toadman, well, you can see it's not gonna do anything against these dust blocks. Skullman is yet another barrier weapon, and honestly, it ain't great. Because I'm trying to use it, and for one, like any other barrier weapon, you have to be close up to use it. You can't just fire it off like the wood shield. Was there a barrier weapon in 3? I forget now. No, I don't think there was. I always assumed those were like dust particles, basically, to go with the theme of Dustman, obviously. Oh god. Whew, that was almost bad. Hey, an extra life. This game is being super fucking generous. Oh my god, lag! Did we see that? Because there was definite lag there. Whatever. I guess I won't rewind it. Fuck it. Hey, look, another extra life. We might actually do things at a reasonable time if the game keeps being this nice. Which I already started late, so I'd be okay with it. I sure did speak too soon. This game is being super fucking generous. Which is not something I expect until the latter 2 entries on the NES. Hexology. Right? Hex is 6. Octagon's 8. Shit. Fucking son of a bitch almost fucked me again. Well, I took the same hit, actually, so why didn't it push me back further and get me stuck like before, and then just kill me? Whatever. No logic, who cares? How many cans do I have in case I suck? Oh, I got more, that's right. I think we're pretty good no matter what we do. Yeah, someone remind me to take notes after this. If I don't start now, I'm gonna start forgetting shit. I didn't read what the plot actually was. Alright, so what are we doing? Toad. Which I used some of already. Whoops. 1 damage. Not it. Skull barrier. Literally can't hit him while he's doing that, so... Again, 1 damage. So another boss we're gonna have to do no weakness. Which, if I recall, Dust isn't too terrible without the weakness. So we are missing quite a bit in the whole predicting boss weaknesses category. Yeah, honestly, Dustman is not too bad. Like, yeah, his dust particle splits, but mostly he just sucks, and you can't hit him. Or he shoots his dust particle, and it splits and probably hits you, unless you're at the right angle, or he jumps at you. That's all he does. So, no can needed there either. This is the one with Cossack, right? He's a Russian dude, the side banner? Yes. Yes. So, deal with this game is... It is one of 3 fake outs, because they literally go with that. Different story for each, but they do fake outs in the other 3 games, pretty much. So, cool. That's that. Pretty easy boss fight. Yeah, I would even say, like, he's not one of 2 I picked as a kid, but honestly, I would say he's doable to start as well. In fact, the more and more I think about this, 4 might just be one of the easier games. I mean, they're all easy-ish once you get used to them, but, you know, that's here or there. 3 out of 8. Who's next, people? Amber does not change her votes, so if she votes on somebody, apparently it sticks, so I'm not going to ask anymore. What we got for the rest? Of course, at this point, we missed a couple weaknesses, so it becomes now easier to possibly predict one that we do have a weakness for. Which is the good part about screwing up the order. You have to have Pharaoh's weakness now? Okay. Josh, you tend to mention sentences and then they end up being who you're picking. So I'm going to assume everyone's going with Pharaoh Man. And that's an all-around vote for Pharaoh Man, so let's do it. Right, so I'm supposed to remind me to take notes. Damn it. Whatever, I'll do it after this. Fuck. Damn it. Think acid or skull beat Pharaoh. Okay. Okay. I mean, we have choices, right? We have 3 different weapons. One of them has to beat him. Alright, I'm gonna try and make this jump. Huh! Nope, I fucked up. Rewind. Specific reason why we're doing this. Use Rush Coil. I think there is a way to make that jump if it's like pixel perfect. We do this because it gets you one of 2 items in the game, additional items, which you do not have to get. They are not required. I'm pretty sure they're optional. But this gets you the B item. The B stands for balloon. The balloon is very comparable to item 1 in Mega Man 2. Except, I would say it's better. These are similar to the garbage-ass platforms in the very first Mega Man, in the sense that they wake up and shoot at you. Except, unlike those glitchy as fuck things, you don't just sometimes randomly fall through the platform and or take contact damage when you try to stand on it. So, yeah. Ow. Mummies. So we added one more weapon to the arsenal. So let's use a dust here. Alright. We can see the damage isn't necessarily that great. We need 2 hits to kill those mummies. Which, you know, could be a bit tanky. The thing splits on contact when you use it. So, whatever. So Acid or Skull beat Pharaoh. So again, let's we have weapons, so let's try them. Toad. 2 damage. Dust. I didn't even see the damage. That actually does okay damage? Is that like 3? Or 2? I can't really tell. Shit. Skull. 1 damage. Basically, we don't have the weakness. Again. So, we are missing quite a bit in this category. Although Dust does better than I thought, apparently. You know what? I'm just gonna use it. Dust feels weird to do more damage than Pharaoh. I agree. Because this is certainly not something I knew. Oh, it's okay. It's 2 damage. So, obviously not hit it either. Also, Pharaoh Man's charge shots, they hurt quite a bit. So, you know, probably don't get hit by that. Shit. Oh, it's bad. We're gonna can it. If anything, I think a dusty mummy would be resistant to dust. Yeah, well, you know. It does not go tink. Well, at this point, I think we've missed so many boss weaknesses that no matter which of the next 4 we pick, we have what's good on them. So is his real weakness Lightbulb Man? Can I answer that without giving stuff away? The answer is yes. It is Lightbulb Man. In fact, actually, I gave that away, I think, in the Mega... Huh? What are you talking about? Why? Oh. Well, cool. They wasted my money then, because I definitely ordered grilled nuggets. What a bunch of assholes. I'm super sorry then.
But all I ate was fries, which made me happy.
Obviously, wasn't my fault, but yeah, that sucks. Wasted money! Chick-fil-A's great, guys. Totally doesn't have shit values, it's shit food, whatever. Anyway, moving on. We got 4 left. If Mommy Man wasn't weak to light or acid, I was gonna be very upset. Yeah, Toad Man in a way makes sense, because, you know, water doesn't mix with electricity. Literally the logic I used as a kid. Happened to work out. But, actually, wait, that's not what you were talking about. I just gave that away. Whoops! Anyway. Notes, yeah. I should do that thing. So, Toad. My opinion, great stage. Okay music. Skullman is great on both. In fact, since we rate weapons as well, let's do that as well. Are you taking notes? I am now. I have gotten the reminder halfway. Halfway through the Robot Masters. So Toad's weapon. Lots of weapon energy. Lots of weapon energy, not practical. Barrier. Can't fire. Probably will take damage using... Well, while using... Cool, so there's that. Who else have we got? Pharaoh. Pharaoh, I have the same opinions as Skull. As far as the weapon, actually, this is probably the best weapon in the game, honestly. So, great all around. I'll remember that. Dust. Same as Toad. Weapon kind of sucks. Weapons are not looking so good for this part. Alright, so, I gave some stuff away, but pick one anyway. We got Ring Man, we got Dive Man, we got Bright Man, and we got Drill Man. Amber says Dive Man. Notes are taken for the time being, so thanks for the reminder, Monica. Appreciate it. Josh, you as well. That's 2 for Dive Man. That's where we're going. And actually, there is one pick that we would not have had weakness for. Dive Man! Which, of course, to go with the theme, it's a fucking water level. It's no Bubble Man stage, but, it's alright, I guess. The stage nor the theme are as good. But, it's alright. Shit. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Dive Man is one of the harder bosses to try to do Buster only. Because he is rush you in the face the boss. Actually, no, I can't say that because Charge Man exists in Mega Man 5. Well, we don't know about him yet, so this is rush you in the face the boss. You gotta try a little harder to get something from Eddie / Flip Top in this one. Otherwise, he just tosses the item in the hole. And he's not being as generous this time. He's not giving us an instant E-can. Which, as we know from Extra Life streams, or whenever else I may have streamed this game, eventually, I'll just give up and let him give me whatever he gives me. He's got 3 more chances. Whoops, unless I just, you know, let him kill himself and not give me an item at all. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. We're moving on. So it took the fucking extra life. Alright. These are like the enemies that look just like them in Mega Man 1. Not as bad. Also, Mega Man 3. That's the worst version of all of them, pretty much. But you got some pretty cool stuff going on. You got the water going on. You got it rising up and down. You got the freaking robotic jellyfish that you can't actually kill. You got the eels, although they're not electric eels. You got the stupid fucking whale mini-boss that you have to fight twice. And you get the second optional item if you fall down here instead of continuing. So you do a little spike trap part. You get to the bottom and you get the second optional item, the W item, which gives you the wire ability. It refills your health, but it puts you back here. So technically you have to do this tiny section of the level again when you get that, but it's worth it, especially if you're looking for health or a free health refill. Ow. But I actually gave away Pharaoh Man's weakness in Mega Man 2 when we talked about the Flash Stopper, because it's the same shit basically. But you can't use the weapon. The weapon itself doesn't do any damage. It just freezes them in place. So then you just have to use regular shots. And unless you're quick enough with the controller, you literally don't have enough weapon energy to keep freezing him and to have him be dead afterwards. But of course, if you do it right and you're fast enough, Pharaoh Man just straight up does nothing. Alright. Weakness. We probably have it, right? What are we using? Dust. Is that again like a surprising effect here? Because like, so this is interesting because again, dust. I mean, we're dead, but that's not actually it. But I'm again surprised by the results of dust. Even though apparently it actually only did 2 damage, so like that, what does that really count for? I can't tell how much damage it's doing. Hold on, I want to know now. That's the full health bar. I think it's like 3 or 4 damage that it does. Does this guy actually have 2 weaknesses? Anyway, let's use the others too. Alright, Toad. I think that was 1. Yeah, 1 damage. Pharaoh, which you have a charge shot of Pharaoh. Oh, it's my last life. Whoops. We're gonna rewind. Pharaoh, you can use a little measly shot, or you can charge it. And even if it gets used up visually, you can still release it, which actually makes it, like, stupid OP. It's no Metal Blade, but it is damn good for what it is. And having tried all those, we will now proceed to use the actual weakness, which is Skull. Which really sucks because, as demonstrated before, you need to be pretty close to hit with Skull. Plus, he also shoots the dive missiles, which you could use up the barrier on those instead of hitting him. And if you're not careful about it, you'll take contact damage. Not as bad as Top Spin, but still up there. Because this is just actually a worse Leaf Shield. Weapon's good, though. Dive Missile. So Dive Man, same as Skull. I didn't actually put a thing here. Hold on. Who's after Skull? Pharaoh. I didn't actually put a name of a boss here. Dust. Dive Man, same as Skull. And weapon is a homing missile. So that's actually good. Three left. Can't possibly mess it up. Now no matter who we pick, we have weaknesses for him. So really, it's just personal preference. Light Bulb Man, which doesn't exist. Bright Man. Amber has this trope where she likes to name things what they look like as opposed to what they literally are on screen. But yeah, I would argue that Dive Man kind of sort of has two weaknesses. Like, Dust didn't do terrible on him. Dive has to beat Drill. You gotta vote for Bright Man and vote for Drill Man. I did give away one of these weaknesses already. But again, we have the weaknesses for all of them at this point. We missed so many times that we're good no matter what we do now. Which is good for the sake of time. Also, one could debate whether it's padding anymore, but ever since Mega Man 3, with the whole, you know, adding extra stages or whatever, instead of dock robots, what they did in 4, 5, and 6 is you get the fake out boss, right? And they have their own castle. And then you have JK, it's Dr. Wily the whole time, and you do his castle. So instead of doing the dock robots, you do the fake out boss castle, then Wily's castle for the rest of the games. I'm waiting on the third. I'm going to give it another minute. Then we might have to do a coin flip on that one. I need to get you out of the Erd Tree already. For the second time. I'm gonna leave that one specifically up to you, Josh. I'll probably remember, though. I've had the tab open for a while. Get it on GMG. Rewards plus the GMG discount, 16 bucks. Coin flip it is. I'll just pick them. We'll do heads for Drill Man and tails for Bright Man. Tails. Bright Man it is. This is the one I gave away the weakness already. Alright, so continuing to actually, like, try and remember to use weapons. Like, I'm going to try to make use of Skullman here, but it really just sucks. It really just sucks. So this stage is kind of neat. It matches the theme. If you shoot the light bulb guys, then the screen goes dark, which is kind of cool. These guys will light the room back up. They teach you that in the safe spot, which is your typical Mega Man trope, where it's like, hey, this is a thing we're going to teach you in a safe space, and then we're going to, as the level proceeds, we're going to introduce more dangerous spaces. But you better have learned the thing from the previous screen, because if you didn't, you might pay for it. Possibly with your life. This stage is great, albeit a bit annoying at times. Theme's alright. So literally just for going an alternate path, you get a free extra life and a energy tank. Now, it's free-ish because going on the way back is not easy. In fact, it's flat out not possible without the use of Rush Coil and or Balloon. Because you cannot make that jump on the way back, just flat out. We got Rush Marine a while back, but we haven't actually used it for anything. I'm not sure Rush Marine has any practical use in this game, honestly. Rush Marine might just be a throwaway in this game. I forget. I don't remember. Little jumping grasshoppers like to kill themselves after a while, like so. Ow. Ruh-roh. I don't want to get hit by that. Oh, I got hit by it. Didn't knock me off, luckily. Yeah, you have to kind of keep your hand off the trigger finger. Or avoid taking hits like that. Shit almost got me killed. Stage isn't too long. None of them are really, if you know what you're doing. Alright, so we explained this earlier. So we use Toadman. Because, you know, water, electricity, blah, blah. He does freeze you in place from time to time, which just lets him get a shitty hit on you, which is not great. We're gonna have to use a can here, or else we're dead. You literally get just enough Toadman in order to beat him. So, if you've used one, you won't have all the weapon energy you need. We'll say the weapon's okay, because, like, it doesn't have practical use, but you can free stuff. It's fine, I guess. Discount flash stopper. And really, that's 2 out of 8 weapons that are basically just recycled from 2 at this point. So we have Ringman or Drillman. In fact, since we have weaknesses for everybody now, I'm just going to go ahead and with Drillman, because that's the other pick from before. And we're going to confirm if Josh was right or not. Hey, that was the vote anyway. Shit. This is another one where I think the Sage and theme is good. It's kind of got the whole construction-like vibe like Gutsman in Stage 1. Or Mega Man 1. Which, you know, it's Drillman, so it works. What are we doing here? There we go. Save the dumb one for last. Yeah. I don't know. Oh my god, I pulled that off without dying. All these, like, harder things. I'm just... It's not tripping me up, really. I was gonna try and make a case for Ringman, but nah, he is kind of dumb. Shit. You gotta be quick enough to hit these things. Okay, I killed the other one, no effort. There we go. I think Toad might be able to kill those without having to wait on them to open. Another energy cannon. We'll use the wire to get that. Whoops. These things are annoying. Because you can only hit them at select points. Alright. Skullman's weapon usage. Here it is. This is what it's good for. Shit. And right there, we demonstrated what it's not good for. Accidentally running into another enemy, so you fuck yourself out of that strategy. And the Nestlite got me killed. Rewind. Didn't happen. Can't prove it. Shit. That also didn't happen. Can't prove it. Alright. We'll go ahead and take a death here. Best thing to do. We only have a whopping 2 health. I forget how hard he is without going Buster only. Or going... Not without going Buster only. Like going Buster only. I don't think he's like too terrible. But he tends to dive underground. funny considering the weapon we're using. He tends to dive underground over and over. So you have like these short opportunities to hit him when he's above ground. But let's see. Is dive good on drill? You are correct. But I think we've seen that if you were going for picks in this game, we'd have to do a lot of getting good. Rush Jet Adapter. I don't know why they randomly call them adapters in this game. They literally function the exact same way. They just decided to call it an adapter now. So Ringman's the last one. We obviously have the weakness. This is probably the worst choice if you're just starting the game. Both stage-wise and boss-wise. If this is your first pick, I feel bad for you. If you want to play Mega Man 4 on hard mode, start with Ringman. Shit. This mechanic in the stage, which has nothing to do with rings whatsoever. Although, really, what were you going to do with a guy called Ringman? Like, what were you going to make that stage anyway? I don't know. Since Toadman is obviously not the weakness here, and this stage tends to suffer from fighting a bunch of silly mini-bosses, you fight two of these hippos, but to them, I say, have Toadman's weapon. And it takes a shocking amount of Toadman's weapon. I don't remember it taking that much, so I guess I'm going to need a different strategy for the second one. It's like light and lasers, which I guess you can connect to rings if you really stretch. What, the rings of Saturn? Like this planet enemy? So, as I say that, like that's it? I don't know. This is... It's an odd stage. Hey, an extra life. Ringman before Ringman. Is a use for Bright to freeze that guy in place. Actually, here's a use for Bright right here. Now I think about it. Yeah, that was way better. Should have did that from the beginning. How many energy cans do we have? Only 3. Been using too many. Extra life, don't want it. Don't want it. Rings of Saturn, Rings of Light. Yeah. Like, they're clearly going for some kind of it's weird because the first part, it's like, it seems so random. And then the second part is like they went for some sort of space theme. It's weird. I also don't know if I love or hate this theme. He's got 3 more tries. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3, no can, extra life, moving on. Can't kill them fast enough. Alright, you know what? I have Rush Jet. I can't be bothered with this. So Rush Jet, shit! Yes, yes it is. Oh. Fuck! No! Wrong way! So are we good then? No, we're not. I have something to show y'all when I'm done with this. Alright, two bars. Great. Theme feels a bit weak. Yeah, I was kind of leaning more towards that the more and more I hear it loop. Alright, we'll take a death here because our whopping 2 health. And then we'll burn him down with Pharaoh Man. Probably shouldn't have just gave it away and maybe just let people guess on it, but obviously we're going to have the weakness. It's just, you know, process of elimination at this point. It's not bad, it's just kind of unremarkable. Yeah. Okay, mid at best. With the charged Pharaoh shot, we need 5 hits. That wasn't charged. 5 hits. I don't know. Ask the people who made this game. Ask Capcom? I don't know. That's what it is. So, the theme and stage are kind of mid. The weapon, however, is... And actually, I realized I didn't actually show off Drill Man's weapon at all. Alright, so we're on to the Cossack stages. Are they trying to do Ra the Sun God is strong against Saturn Ringman? Well, remember, the Game Boy games, which we now have access to, apparently. 5 did the whole planets thing. And for people that slept on the Mega Man Game Boy games, I certainly don't blame them. But 5 specifically is original because they do planets. They're not just Robot Masters from the NES games. It did its own original idea, and it's also the only Mega Man game to have a RoboCat. Tango was never used again. Green Cat. Never seen again since that game. I think it made like a cameo, maybe like a spin-off game or something, but outside of that, they just kind of forgot about it afterwards. This stage is, it's kind of annoying, because it's icy, so it has the slippery platforming. Thing is, I know better, so I'm jumping obsessively to make sure that I do not... Whoops, there's an extra life, but it went in the fucking pit. To make sure to not slip and fall. Which is pretty easy to do in various sections of the stage. Specifically here. So, Rush Jet was OP in 3 specifically because it didn't auto-scroll, and you can move them in whatever direction you want. You still can move Rush Jet in whatever direction you want, but now it auto-scrolls for you, so you have to do that while being forced forward. Shit. Iframes. What do we really need to refill here? Not much. Why'd I go up here? I made a bad call. Ugh! Nailed it. I forgot what this boss is. Oh. Okay. Now I can show off Ring. Because I keep forgetting about weapons. Ring seems like it's not great. It just shoots the ring forward and then it comes back to you like a boomerang. But its use is actually pretty great. Like if I had this for... Ring is good against dust, by the way. If I had this for Dustman stage... Seizure warning. If I had this for a Dustman stage... That's 2 games without a seizure warning. But yeah, like, if I had that for Dustman stage, it just clears out the dust particles, like, really easily. Because it goes out, and whatever it might not have gotten on the way out, it'll hit on the way back. Real quick before I start this stage, I have this thing. I don't know if they're... Well, they are called something. Reversible plushies. So, this is Rush. And, wait for it. Wait for it. Now we have Mega Man. Yeah. Add Rush, because, you know, I have enough Mega Man stuff. So I have the Rush side up on my desk. But, yeah. That's a thing I have. I have something else to show off, but not for this stream. Oh, Father's Day gift with intent from Amber. Oh my god, what? I also think, even though Rush Jet 1 did amazing remixes of this, made the track sound better, that's kind of his shtick. But, I don't know. I have days where I like this Cossack theme. I have days where I don't like it. This is like that one particular section of Mega Man 3. Except, you know, like I said, Rush Jet isn't as OP in this. Whoops. Damn it. Let's gotta have your timing right. It's not quite the disappearing blocks, but you know, it's its own little twist on it, I guess. Other weapons. What haven't I used? Drill. So drill's kind of neat because it's powerful. It explodes on contact. The drill bomb. But something the game doesn't tell you, and it's actually quite useful for the end of the game, is if you use it, you can press the button again and it'll detonate in place. So you don't actually have to shoot it like all the way out. It also breaks gates like that. So that's neat. Whoops, I should have got the health too. Whoopsie. Fuck, whatever. I don't know. I tend to not talk about these stages, like, in any of the games. I feel like they just drag on for a bit. More so than anything else. Whoops. Like, some of them are alright, I guess. So use a camp for the second time, and that's what I'm gonna do. Fuck it. I came in here with shit health to begin with, so it kind of feels bad, but I'm doing it anyway. Fuck, I missed. Twice. And got hit twice. Not good. Really don't want to use another can on this guy. No, it's less a guy, more of an object. Fuck, I keep missing. Simple shit. Okay, hit it twice there. That's good. Do I like these stages? So I'm kind of mixed. I don't think they're particularly exciting, but I do think they're a sufficient challenge for, like, the end of the game. So I'm very much mixed on them. Although the Cossack stages are probably better than the Wily stages from what I remember. But because it runs the pattern of, you know, each game does the whole fake out thing before Wily, by the time you get to the Wily stages, you're kind of like possibly fatigued of the gameplay by that point. And you just kind of want it over with. And of course, the inevitable fight all the bosses again in each game. Just because, you know, typical Mega Man tradition. Which I think a lot of people over the years, if I used to not mind it, but years later, I'm like, do you really need to do that? Like, you obviously know what the weaknesses are. You obviously know you're going to be able to do this. It's just inflated difficulty before Wily. And drags the game on. It's padding. Like, I don't know. I like the occasional boss rush. Like, you know where I really enjoyed boss rushes, actually? In Kirby. But I think because it's literally one of the mini-games within Kirby Superstar. And you had to fight, like, all 18 in a row, or whatever the hell it is. Which I think they might have added to in Superstar Ultra. Which, of course, now is a definitive way to play the game. I always say my favorite is Superstar. But there's literally a better version of the game now that exists. And has for some time. But, like, most Kirby fans that know what they're talking about pretty much have like the same 3 games on the top of their Kirby list. Being Superstar Ultra. Or Superstar / Superstar Ultra. Because, you know, better version, same game. I say this having not played it, but from what I hear, Kirby Robobot. And now Forgotten World. Which, because I haven't played Robobot, I would put Forgotten Land second. I don't know if I'd put Robobot in my top 3, probably based on what I hear, but like I'd never actually played that one. It's one of the few main series Kirby titles I actually have not played. If they ever remade it, I'd play it. Otherwise, I'm gonna need to like emulate it or something. Like that stage, not particularly exciting at all. Just a slow auto-scroller. Stage isn't particularly difficult. You get a free energy can out of it. That's the best thing about the stage. The boss is kind of annoying until you realize that... So here's what I was talking about earlier, in case it didn't make sense. Here's going to be context for it. So here's why Pharaoh Man's weapon is stupid OP. Also, I missed a few comments that I'll go ahead and address. So I'm going to hit him with this, right? So it's gone, visually, right? But because I never shot it out, the game doesn't know better. So I can still do that. So 1 hit, 2 hits. 1 hit. And there's 2 of these. And it's easy to die from, like, knockback. And you can shoot in a few different directions, which is good, too. Yeah. Weapon's ridiculous. So it uses quite a bit when it charges, but the shit just wrecks. And of course, knowing that little trick makes what would be a somewhat difficult boss even easier. And then Cossack himself, it's kind of ruined because, like, the fight is a joke. Like, it's stupid easy. If there's an actual weakness for Cossack, I legit don't know what it is. Because, like, he's that easy. I'd actually be curious to know because I don't think I've ever used it. Boss Rush is a separate challenge mode. It's completely fine and excellent value for replay value. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I used to cite this game as, like, a main reason why I don't mind me a good boss rush, but I don't know. I think my opinion on that has changed. Because, yeah, think about it. If you've played every Mega Man game, and I don't know if they keep that on, like, Battle Network and Star Force and the other thing that's Star Force except not. I can't remember. Can't remember what the hell it is. It's gonna bother me now. Legends, I don't know if that's a thing in Legends. You can tell the ones I obviously haven't played, which is, you know, any of the ones that aren't platformers. And even of that, I still need to complete that love at some point with the ZX games. I started the first ZX on stream a while back and never came back to it, and that fucking map is horrendous, though. And then I think I also one-offed Advent. This stage also, nothing like particularly special. I don't know. I find a lot of these stages kind of boring. The last few stages. I don't know if the Wily stages are any different. It's like I said, they're a good challenge for where you are in the game. I just don't find them particularly exciting. So he shoots that three-way shot. If you don't slide, he might try to grab you with the crane. You might take a hit or two out of boredom, like, you know, I'm doing. Or, you know, 3 or 4 hits, or really a lot of hits. But that's it. That's Cossack. Oh, what's going on here? Proto Man with this person. I have no idea who this person is, because the game doesn't tell you who it is. Find out, of course, based on this dialogue, that this is his daughter. Her name's Kalinka. I don't think they actually tell you that. Wait, no. I think they do later on. Hold on. So, you know, tells you not to hurt him. Yeah, okay, there we go. There we go. Couldn't remember. Ask for forgiveness. OMG, Proto Man, what you doing? What are you doing? Me bad guy. I will break you. You know, it just became Rocky 4, Mega Man 4. Little Russian girl. Yeah, that is Kalinka. Daughter to Cossack. And, you know, another 2 characters that, as quickly as you grow to maybe like them, if that's possible, with the little amount of time you get to know them, you just don't see them again. So there are the Wily stages. And, again, don't think the theme is, like, particularly great. Kind of the same with the stages, from what I remember. I don't know. I think this is the thing with 4. Like, it starts off great. I feel like the tail end of it is, not as memorable. It's not bad. It's just not exciting. This team better than Ringman? I don't know if I agree with that. Sneaky little jumps. Hey look, it's a part we're not going to do. Invisible blocks be damned. Yep, don't gotta do any of that shit, fuck it. That's why I say the blocks in this game. Fuck them entirely. I forget if that's the only part with them. Extra life! I'm telling you, it's like I'm playing 5 or 6. Y'all are gonna see. Like, they drop like hotcakes in those games. Which, I come to find out, apparently that's by design. I guess 4 whole games in, enough people complain that the games are quote-unquote too hard. So, by design, they decided to make extra lives drop more often. So for this boss, while not particularly exciting, I will give them credit. You know, fighting a giant metal is, maybe not the most exciting boss idea, but a clever one. Oh no, I'm stuck. Rewind. Rewind again. Really? You won't let me slide under that? So I'm kind of like taking mental notes of the final like castle bits. It's usually what I do, and then during the as the credits roll, we kind of evaluate and make our quick grade. This is going well. This is this went a lot better than I thought. And you know, I never know based on like picks, but this worked out. I think if we got more that were actually a problem for me, I might not meet the rough goal I was trying to get, which is have this done in about 2 hours. Hey, first time energy can. We got that the majority of the times. Not every time, but the majority of the time. It's also harder to mess with that one, so I probably wouldn't have bothered with that much. So you mean you make a good time then? Yeah, pretty much. Like, normally it would take less than that. But I didn't necessarily know what was going to happen with this, and I started late, but I was still hoping to get done around midnight. And it does look like that will be the case. Got 15 more minutes. Yeah, actually, you know, now that I say that, or now that you point that out, I still have a boss rush left, so... Maybe a little over. That and I still need to, like, actually rank the game and stuff. Alright, so... Moving on. Damn it. I might need to refill more weapon energies. I think for the end of the game, I need ring and drill in particular. Means I really need to put that ring up. Speaking of which, there's an annoying boss that actually requires ring, because that is the weakness on here. Fuck. Ring doesn't use a ton of weapon energy, which is good. Shit. There's another one we're definitely going to need the can if we don't want to spend more time. Shit. There he goes. Alright, this Wily theme I find decent. The first one, not so much. But this one I find decent. That, and it uses what I think is the Pharaoh Man shot being released noise randomly towards the end of the track. It's coming up soon. Gotta listen for it. It's coming. Yeah. Well, actually now I listen to it again, it's not quite that, but close enough. Oh my god, guys, I'm falling a bunch. I went through a teleporter and I'm falling a bunch. What am I doing? Oh my god, it's a boss rush. No way. That never happens. If you want to just keep doing this and not go underground, I'm cool with that. Cool, he listened. Thanks, Drill Man. Make things easy for me. Bright Man! Fucking contact damage, it does so much. Oh. Can it? We have like 8. Now 7. Nice. Cool. So I don't need to have the exact amount of energy to fire off that last shot. That's good. Because if I did, I actually wouldn't have had enough there. So I filled up just enough energy for Toad there. Okay, Skullman's actual weakness, because I realized we missed a lot of these, so we didn't know what they were. Dust is good on, Skull. Actually, I keep forgetting the second half we did good. Oh fuck. What? Whatever. Again, we're trying to save time here. We have plenty of energy cans, like we're golden. Been there, done that. Dust for Skull makes no sense. No, it doesn't. I'll just say it, but I'm not going to use it, because I also need it for the end. Drill Man is good on Toad Man, but you really don't need it, because you just loop them. and save your drill bombs. Three left. Oh my god, exciting gameplay. Ringman. Which I do need, but it uses like no weapon energy, so we're gonna use it anyway. Wait for Dustman to go from suck to blow multiple times, because apparently he wants to keep doing it. Really? He wants to keep doing it? Actually used more than I'd like to there. Drill versus Toad is kind of gruesome. Yeah, if you think about it. Pharaoh. I actually do think I need this for something relevant towards the end of the game as well. Whoops, that totally got fired in the wrong direction. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. Goodbye. Alright, and now here's, Pharaoh. Where Bright is good. Like I said a couple games ago, who needs a turbo button? Alright. Wily Machine, which I actually think is pretty great in this game. You actually really don't... I think Ring is good on this, but, like, you really don't even need it. Because, like, this is all you do for part 1, and I went too far towards them, which is why I took a hit there. Now there's this. With Drill. Which this boss is weird because sometimes you can just miss with the Drill bomb and not hit the little crystal thing that you're supposed to hit. But the way you get around that is you detonate the drill early. You just make sure you keep enough distance and you detonate the drill early. And then you're guaranteed to get the hit, even if you don't line it up right. Which makes them super easy.
Look at this. This dapper fellow.
And you know, it's the skull, so it's the end, right? Nope, they do the fake out just like they do in Mega Man 2, I believe. So the one last fake out. 10 minutes. And I know I need to fill Pharaoh somehow. Okay, actually, come to think of it, this is how I'm going to use the 10 minutes apparently. Because I need weapon energy, and I don't have it. Okay. This is one of the weakest enemies in the game. And the skull barrier doesn't even kill it in one hit. So, yeah. That just tells you how garbage the skull barrier is. It is an actual shit tier barrier. Yeah, the thing is, I wouldn't do this, but I don't think it's... I actually don't think you can actually hit the final boss without the weakness. I forget. That might be inaccurate. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Fuck. I didn't mean to do that. keep dropping the little ones. Well, if I didn't have to farm at the end of the game, I would have made the time. But unfortunately, I need to farm at the end of the game. Because I didn't think this all the way through. Hmm? Hmm. Yeah, y'all are stingy with this fucking weapon energy. That's regular energy. I don't need that. Why with the tiny ones? Stingy. They're gonna drop a big one, and I'm gonna get it on accident. I'll just hit rewind if that happens. But... oh, hey, another one. Yeah, I completely forgot about the weapon weaknesses or whatever, and I have like 7 lives, so trying to die would be like... it would take even longer, probably. Yeah, there are ways to get around this stuff, of course, but like... play the game more, get used to it, whatever. Extra life, that's... yeah. Don't need that. Really. But yeah, it is unfortunate, because we definitely would have had time. It's fine. It'll just go like a couple minutes over. Which I was going to do anyway, because I need to, like, actually put a number on this thing. They are being really stingy. So, it's, you know, based on that, yeah, it is for sure highly unfortunate that we need to farm right now. Because the game does not seem very interested. Play the game more versus play a variety of games. Are you talking about an entirely different game? Yes, we want that. I don't think that we're full all of it, but we want it. Yes. One more of those. That would be great. Or, you know, 2 small ones back to back. One or the other. I'm not picky, really. Just give me it. You know what? I have a whopping 1 less bar. Oh, you just like variety? Oh, yeah. Yeah. There is that. Oh, that little trick with Pharaoh, actually. It works on him, too. Which, actually, now that I consider that point, which I had kind of forgotten about, I don't need as much weapon energy as I thought. And if I wasn't a scrub, I wouldn't need to use an energy cam right now. But, unfortunately... scrubs are us. Got him. And that's Mega Man 4. And even with the farming, actually, we still have 5 minutes to spare. So, nailed it. So let's rank this thing. So, music. I'm torn between a 4 and a 5. So I'm going to go back to my notes, right? Toadman's was okay. Skullman's was great. Pharaoh Man's was great. Drills is great. I said dive, same as skull. Weapon is homing missile, so that's good all around. So that's a good theme too. I can't give it a 5. Definitely can't give it a 5. I'm torn between a 3 and a 4 for music, honestly. I'm gonna be generous and give it a 4. Because it certainly has more hits than misses. But the misses, like, I could do without. For sure. I think it's a 4. I'm leaning more towards a 4. I don't want to give a half score, so we're going to give it the benefit of the doubt and go with 4. Fun factor. So the thing with the fun factor is this game starts out great. And then I feel like the Wily stages are... or the castle stages. Let me not even say Wily stages. Even though it's kind of what they are. It's just a fake out to Wily. But I feel like those stages are not so great. Which would make me want to give it a 3. But I do think the challenge is sufficient for that point in the game. So I kind of have to balance it out like that. I think I'll give it a 4. Weapons. So Toadman's not practical. He uses way too much weapon energy. Skullman's thing is shit. Pharaoh is amazing. Dust is not great. Dive Man is great. Bright Man is alright, I guess. I guess it has some uses. Drill is good. Ring is good. So effectively about half the weapons are good. And then you also have the rush things. Marine's not great. Wire and balloon do have their uses. I'm gonna give it a 4. The Mega Man 4 gets all the 4s apparently. Controls is like cheating on each of these because again the controls are gonna be great on all of them. Plot. They only did so much with it. I'm gonna have to watch that beginning cutscene again. I have to watch that beginning part again. Obviously, you get the fake out with Cossack. And Proto Man just shows up out of nowhere, no context, no nothing. Or he drops in to... because you're probably about to straight up kill Cossack. And then Proto Man just shows up out of nowhere, brings Kalinka back. Kalinka tells you the truth about everything while he was just setting everybody up. And that's basically where the plot ends, because there's no, like, exit cutscene or anything. That's effectively the end of the game. I'm going to watch the beginning again. Just to get an idea. Alright, so... okay, the robots actually get context in this, finally. It only took 4 fucking games. Household robots rock and roll were created by Master Robot Designer Dr. Light, and were enjoying their peaceful days. Then one day, the industrial robots all over the world went on a rampage, and the world fell into total chaos. I feel like they didn't explain the ending twist, even if you read the manual for the setup. Dr. Light quickly realized that mad scientist Dr. Wowie comes 4 parts for now. Behind the nefarious deed, he didn't know what to do. Rock having strong sense of justice, volunteered to be converted into fighting robot. Thus, the Super Robot Mega Man was born. You kind of get a little sort of like the origins of the characters, except it's just randomly tossed into the plot of 4. So, cool, but could have been done better. And yes, they don't really explain the ending. And you need the manual, which I may or may not have, but I shouldn't have to refer to the manual. It should tell the story in the game. World peace has been maintained so far. We already knew that from the previous games. You know what? I've seen enough. It's a 3. Alright, cool. So what does that make this? That's 4, 8, 16. Right? I'm adding this up, but no, I can't add. Alright. Let's try this again. 12. 17. 20. 20 is the same as 2. 20 is the same as 2. Well then. That almost makes me feel like I should rank 2 higher, but I'm not going to go back and correct its correct scores, you know? Rock having a strong sense of justice. What are you implying about Roll? Too weak because girl robot? You know, I'm sure that's exactly what would be said nowadays. The thought probably wasn't even there in the least bit back then. Until it came to the TV series, that is. A lot of people bitched about that. Which, in fairness, the TV series would have been a great way to put that to bed. Especially with her being like an older female cleaning robot now. Or they're both like adults, essentially, right? Even if they're like teenagers, I don't know. Anyway, that's all of that. So yeah, I guess I guess 4 is as strong as 2. So just for like reference here, like the PC, I'll pull up my whopping notepad here. So Mega Man 2 has put music 5. Compare that to 4, whereas the music got a 4 in Mega Man 4. Because it's not as good, and it isn't. Mega Man 2's only miss for music was like 1 track. Fun factor's 4. Because it's a fun game, overall. Even if I do feel like, again, like it's really, it's like a mixed bag. Both with music and fun factor for me. But I have to give it the leg up because it does more good than bad in both categories. Weapons are 4, like they're like half and half. Yeah, that's something else I could actually. Well, no, they're half and half for the main weapons. The rush things are fine. Like 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and wire and balloon are decent additions. They have their uses in the game. Obviously, controls are going to be max. That's the same for all of them, pretty much. And then plot, they tried. That's my basis on score. Although I was comparing this to 2. Fun factor's 4 on both. Weapons is 4. It actually edges out. Mega Man 4 actually is ahead of Mega Man 2 in that category, in my opinion. Controls are the same. Plot is the same. So really, Mega Man 2 gets the music better. But Mega Man 4, in my opinion, edges out in the weapons category a bit. And this is, comparing to the game that has Metal Blade. So, good job on that. So, the game that a lot of people felt like the franchise fatigue started in the NES games. The first game that that started becoming a thing, evidently, is at least according to this ranking I'm now doing, as good as 2. So 4 as good as 2. We got 2 more games left. So who knows what's going to happen with that. So total so far, Mega Man 1 very much at the bottom. Don't see it changing at 13 out of 25. The Music 3, Fun Factor 2, Weapons 4, Controls 2, Plot 2. I put those controls pretty low. They really aren't great though, so I'm not changing it. Mega Man 2. Obviously went over those scores earlier when comparing them to 4. 20 out of 25 scores on 2 and 4. And then 3 has Music 5, Fun Factor 3, Weapons 3, Controls 5, Plot 2. 18 out of 25, which is actually my favorite of the NES games, but objectively I had to look at it from a different lens and be honest and say that 3, outside of the obvious fact that it came out incomplete, still close to 2, but not quite the same polish as 2, which feels bad for a variety of reasons, but I think most of them have to do with nostalgia. So just being honest, it's still pretty close, but not quite there. Not as polished as it could be. And 4 was a good way to go back towards being great. So, what does that mean for 5 and 6? They really don't. I don't think there's... Even in, like, Mario vs. Capcom, which obviously is, like, no story, you just fight or whatever. Roll is not a particularly strong character. So, anyone looking for, like, strong female role representation or whatever, I just don't think it exists. They certainly did a way better job representing females and power and whatnot in the X series than the classic series. But that's pretty much all I got. Unless we're talking about Robot Masters, then we finally got Splash Woman, but that's the only woman, so... It's a great Robot Master. But... yeah. So that's pretty much it. Now, even with the review, we're about to be... just, just 10 minutes over. So, but plus the score, I don't think we'll take it. Roll doesn't become interesting until Mega Man Legends. Yeah, I didn't really consider like other iterations, and obviously I haven't played that, but yes. So that's cool if that actually happens. Obviously, but then, you know, we have, if we're talking about Legends, then there's also Tron Bonne. Although she's a villain. I don't know if she turns good or not at some point. Anyway, we are good to go here. And that's going to be that. But feel free to join in next time where we most likely do 5 and 6. Which I'm going to try to fit in where I can, if I can, before Shadow of the Erdtree. I still got a couple weeks. So even if I do a stream once per week leading up to Erdtree, which is next Friday... we got time. We can definitely finish this up before Shadow of the Erdtree. But thank you all for coming out. The extra participation was awesome. The discussion, obviously going through and viewing these and rating them again. But yep, that'll do it. So take care, and I will catch you guys for the next one. I mean, hell, depending on when I do it, if I have extended time, then obviously I can do both. But I almost feel like stretching it across, in a way, makes it more exciting. I had planned on doing 2 at a time, but then 3 just... I wasn't feeling up to doing past 3, and now 4 was the same way just because of time, and I might just keep it... We'll see what happens. We'll get them done, though. Take care. Have a great night. I will see you guys the next time. Later.